to TJ's channel, well, my channel. I'm talking about myself in the third person now. So, I want to cover how exactly you play Call of Duty without vision. I'm not talking like how you play this map without vision and learn it and this and that. I'm talking like the actual controls, how you move, how you shoot, interact with the environment, stuff like that. And my PlayStation's loud, as usual. Yay, loud fan. Now, hold on, what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to fix my controller. So what I just did, I turned off the custom button assignments, so like your remappable button controls through the console itself. I turned those off, so my controls are now what they should be. So the R1 moves the tab, and R2 is my trigger, and stuff like that. So with this, I'm going to try and describe the controller and what each button does to an extent, because my thought process is this. If you're blind or visually impaired and you haven't touched a shooter before, especially Call of Duty, it's not the most complicated shooter or most complex or intricate shooter, but it is one where you really want to know what you're doing. Each button does something, more or less. Now here in Black Ops 4 Zombies, you have your X, square, triangle, and circle. So for reference, every button I'm saying for the PlayStation is the same for Xbox. So X is A, square is X, like just from PS4 to Xbox, triangle is Y, and circle is B. And then your triggers are the same, your bumpers are the same, so it's R1, or right bumper is R1, right triggers R2, and vice versa. And then the D-pad and joysticks are kind of self-explanatory. But in terms of terminology, I'm going to use PlayStation terminology, but the buttons will be the same. So if I say you pull the right trigger, that's your R2 for PlayStation, trigger for Xbox. If you hit X, that's A for Xbox, if that makes any sense. I'm not even going to touch PC because I don't know anything about PC. I don't. So what I'm going to try and do is cover this. So in game, how you move, how you navigate the world around you is 3D movement. Your character moves 360 degrees using your left joystick. So it's based on where you're looking. So like if you turn your character to the left a little bit, then push forward on the left joystick, you're moving in that direction you just turned. So if you want to go in a circle, you'd hold the right joystick to the left, and then push forward at the same time on the left joystick. So you're running in a circle to the left. Now, based on where you're looking, you can go forward, back. So hold on. I go forward. I hear my footsteps. I'm going to back up. The fire is going to go away from me. I'm going to move to my left. Some zombies are moving to my right side because I moved past them. Go back to my right, and the zombies are going back to my left side because I walked past them again. So those are the 4 general directions. Because it is a joystick, it's 360 degrees, but I just decided to go at the 90 degree intervals. So I'm going to pause it again. Now if you want to look a certain direction, so you can put the zombie in front of you so you can actually shoot them, because you have to aim at the zombie. It's a first person shooter. So the camera angle is basically like almost as if you're the one holding the gun, aiming down the sights and stuff. So if you want to turn, use the right joystick, and you can push it to the left or to the right, up or down. So pushing the right joystick up looks up, down it looks down, left turns your character to the left, and right turns your character to the right. So now I'm going to mute the mic so you guys can hear this a little better. So I'm going to turn to the left and then turn back around to the right. So I'm not sure how well that worked because I was constantly spinning and I had to move around a bit, so it's kind of weird. But hopefully that made some sense to you. So now, these controls are a little mixed for zombies, but so your X or A on Xbox is jump, which jumping really you don't really jump a whole lot in zombies. I mean, you can if you want to. It's like one of those things where you don't need to at all. But it's X or A, you can jump if you want. To reload, you push square or X. So what I just did there, I threw a Wraith Fire, which is a Molotov cocktail, fired a bullet, then I reloaded. So you heard the click of the magazine a little bit from the Strife pistol I'm using. Now to switch weapons, when you have more than one weapon, you hit triangle or Y, which that depends on how many weapons you have. You can have up to 3, depending on the perks you pick. Your circle or B is crouch, or if you're sprinting and you hold circle or B, you're sliding, so it gives you extra boost of speed, so you can get out of corners if you need to. So those are your face buttons. Now your triggers and bumpers are going to be the same across both consoles, except mine I flip because it's easier on my right hand. So your right trigger is your shoot. So you're shooting. You're not even really aiming down sights. You're just hip firing. So you have chance to miss. So how it basically works. Hold on. So how it basically works is when you don't aim down sights in Call of Duty or any shooter for that matter, you have this little box, more or less, diamond, box, circle, whatever, that is on screen to represent the possible spots where your bullets can land. And so it's accurate. It depending on your weapon, depends on how big or how small or well how inaccurate or how accurate this box can be. Now, with all of that in mind, to aim down sights and be more accurate and get every shot on target, you use your left trigger or L2 button on PlayStation or Xbox, and you aim down sights. And depending on the weapon, it can take like half a second to aim down sights, or it can be instant. Some guns are better aimed down sights. Some you can get away with spraying from the hip. So no aim down sights. You can hear my character aiming down the sights. You can hear it. Hold on. So I'm not sure if you heard that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna simply aim down sights, shoot. There you go. Zombie's dead. So that's the first round. I just muted my mic on accident. I meant to pause, but I was thinking to mute my mic. I don't know why. Why are the dogs going crazy? Anyway, so those are the basic controls. That's your movement. So remember, left joystick's move in a full 360 degrees, and then your right stick is to turn left and right to look around and orientate yourself to zombies and put the zombies in front of you. How do you know where zombies are? How do you know where they're at? Well, if you have a headset or decent sound bar or even a full surround sound system like theater system, if it's a Call of Duty game, it has 3D surround sound audio. So everything around you has a sound, and you can turn to the left or right, orientate yourself, and put the sound in front of you. So for example, if you hear a zombie on your right and you turn to the right, then you hear the zombie shift a little bit so that they're not on the right anymore, but they're not on the left, so that means they're in front of you. If that makes sense. It's a little trickier because, you know, headsets versus soundbars and other things, but typically that's how it works. Okay, well, what about the directional pad? Directional pad in Zombies does 4 things. Each directional pad does a different elixir, which is like a little modifier, a little fun thing, a little thing to help you. Some elixirs are great, some are bad. The default ones you get are fairly good. I don't remember what the default ones are, honestly, but I remember one of them, like 2 of them are good, 2 of them are kind of meh, but they all help in some ways. So as far as other controls, if you want to knife a zombie, which saves ammo, gives more points, and gives more experience towards leveling up, you click your right stick. So your stick to look around, you click it in, and it knifes.
I would have been so much happier if I was floating and bouncing around on the moon right now.
So there you go, that's the knife sound. The knife sounds different based on 2 things. If you have a Bowie knife, it'll sound different. If you have a Thero razor, it'll sound different. And if you have both of those on, it'll sound way different. There's no distinction between the Strife knife bayonet and the Vapor bayonet, because the combat knife, Strife knife, and Vapor knife all sound the same. They all have the same sound effect they use. If you want to sprint, which will give you a burst of speed so you can get out corners just like sliding, you click your movement stick, your left stick in. So you move forward, say I'm just going forward, I'm going to click my stick, and you can hear my footsteps all of a sudden start shifting. My character's like running around faster. I'm doing all that movement. So there you go, that's the sprint. Now, your L1 or left bumper, R1 and right bumper, they don't really do much. I mean, well, they do. So the right bumper or R1 is your equipment, your frag grenades, your claymore, your sentry turret, your things like that. There are sound effects to indicate what you pick in your creative class, and there are sound effects to indicate when you have it back and charged. So now I'm gonna throw in my Wraithfire here in 1 second. There you go. You can kind of hear the fire a little bit. I'm not sure how well you can, but there you go. That's your right bumper, right bumper R1. Like I said, I flip it, so my equipment's R2 or the right trigger, and your shield, if you ever get the shield, I never do, or rarely do, is L1 or your left bumper. or in my case, it's L2 or left trigger. So yeah, that's the shield. Depending on what map you play, depends on what the shield can do. Some shields can absorb zombies, some shoot zombies, some explode, some do this, some do that. It just depends on what map you play and what shield you have. So that is the basic overview of how to play zombies, or at least how Call of Duty zombies. At least other games are different, of course. So I figured I would explain this because some of the guys who wanted to get into zombies or who are blind and they're like, oh, I don't know how to play a shooter. Well, here you go. Like, you guys are coming from Mortal Kombat or Diablo or other games. Well, shooters are different. Shooters require a little more effort. Well, not more effort, I would say, but like, you have to know what you're doing more. I know like fighting games are more intricate because it's like juggles and other things, but I personally think shooters take more skill, especially if you can't see them. But that's my thought process. I'm kind of biased, so there you go. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy this sort of more educational video. I haven't done a video in a while. I've been streaming so much. Well, not much, but I'm streaming. That reminds me. So I can't decide if I'm going to do Twitch or YouTube tonight. I don't know if I'm doing BO4, World War II, Mortal Kombat. I might do Mortal Kombat. I don't actually. I think Strello said he downloaded Mortal Kombat. So if you guys want to see me and Strello fight in Mortal Kombat, let me know. And I'll see about making it happen. But yeah, like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications to not miss the streams or anything, and don't forget to share the channel, share this video to some people if you think it's interesting. Don't forget you can also support the channel through PayPal donations that go directly to me, which these donations go towards anything to help the channel. Games, passes, or like PlayStation Plus to keep my online going, so we can have people come in the streams and play with people, and stuff like that. Generally, in fact, the last time someone donated, I bought Diablo 3 again, which I barely play anymore, honestly. I probably should stream some Diablo here soon. Don't forget you guys can also use code TJTheBlindGamer at GTThrone.com when you purchase a GT Throne vibrating gaming chair. So there you go, just remember 10% off at checkout. Thanks. Bye. Bye-bye. I wish it would be kind of funny if my son just said bye-bye in the background. I'm like, hey buddy, saying bye-bye.